All right, so I still am like,
Now we're
I want to be
communication.
selective about how we cut the beginning.
You got it now. Now we all trust you.
Okay.
We didn't trust you before.
Okay.
Now you're here.
So I'm not okay. Look, I'm a super conservative. Okay.
Yeah, so
to
am
be
I.
honest.
So am I.
But I don't want to. I want to get more powerful before
Yes.
This is my fear
Yes,
right now.
Yes.
I am not at the level where I can get to the things that I want to do.
It's still a fetus, and you don't want it to be killed.
I don't want to get killed too early.
I got it.
And that's why. You
I
guys
got it.
understand. I'm
Yeah.
building something.
Yeah, you're right.
And I want to build it the right way.
That's right.
And smart people know move quiet
Yeah.
until you move loud.
Yeah. So you have all that content. Chop it up as you will. Decide how you want to put it out.
Yeah.
Cut
My
whatever you
team
don't
will,
want.
yeah, we'll
but
work on
you'll
it.
know. But there's some fire there.
There's
that
some
if
fire that
you'll be like,
yeah.
trust me.
No,
You know,
I'll
just
put it in a
video.
way. I'll make it. My team is. Have you seen my edit? The team?
I know, I haven't.
They're amazing.
I
Just
bet.
watch the page.
Yeah.
And tell me that my editing is bad. I guarantee you. It's
No, you're up there. You're one of the top podcasts right now. And I was telling him you're going to be number one at some point. It's obvious. To me, it's obvious. Oh, bro, I've never missed.
I've only been doing a year.
So that's.
I'm fresh. My views are still fresh.
Yeah.
Like everything's.
But you got some really good guests.
Yeah, because I respect, like, I try my best to respect everybody and bring out what I can from them. And you know what?
I live the best in me.
I live in awkwardness. Like, so what happens is, I think this happened in the beginning. I started to do podcasts with people, and I think my insecurities helped them feel more comfortable.
Yeah, dude, you nailed it. You didn't want to outshine them. I get it.
And then it just becomes like something else. Like it just becomes a weird podcast, and that's what wins. Like, and even if it's not weird, it's just I want to be different. And I think that there's a lot that's still coming in that self-expression. Like for sure, we could, I think we can do something with it.
Whatever you want. You have good content. Now let's get into some deep shit. Now we're gonna let's go.
All right, so I feel due. Also, remember my mental 1 day ago. I went through that, and every single one of you, if you're following him, has been through that.
I've been through it so many times.
Exactly.
And you know what?
Multiple times.
This is why it's so important, because this is that moment where you have the fuel to make it.
And this is what I wanted today, because I said that today I need to. This mentality, where is it at? I'm floating. I want somebody, and it's like, yeah, it's better to look at the answers for through God, but also people have knowledge.
Through God, I believe that.
Yeah, and I would like to know the knowledge that as somebody is in the predicament that I'm in,
Let's do it.
what do I do?
Okay, you want to go step by step?
Yeah.
Good. First, I want you to, don't do it right now, but just later on. You gotta really sit there and become conscious that not the story you're telling yourself, but what it is a stranger who you've known for 6 months.
Yeah.
Has decided to not spend their life with you.
Right.
And you gotta feel that pain, like for real, because it does hurt. And you gotta tell yourself, do you respect your father, by the way?
Yes.
So do I. See if these words won't be for everybody, but we're talking you and I. So don't ever disrespect your father's spirit
Right.
by letting a woman who's so ignorant make you feel less. She doesn't have that much weight. You're giving her weight.
Right.
She's not real gold. She's
Right.
gold plated.
And I would say years ago, I wouldn't be at the a point where I could even do this today. I'd be like, broken up about it.
You're doing real good for that.
Today, it's been 1 day. I said, hey, look, 3 days max. Like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna express myself. I'm gonna deal with this. But it's cool because it's fuel. It's fuel for me.
That's the first part.
I would like to use
And
it.
there's more. I gotta give you more though, because I don't want to leave you hanging. Number 2, you need some guy friends.
I did. Yeah, I don't have many.
That's
They're
what.
busy.
That's actually what IMC Nation is.
Yeah.
Because men are very strong in tribes,
Mhm.
and it's something now you develop the eyesight when you do what I do for a long time. You start seeing it, and so one of the first things I see when guys, I have men from every field, bro. It's incredible. IMC Nation it's my friends.
Yeah.
And I can tell when a guy doesn't belong to a tribe. If you ever interview a real gangster, like a real gangster, or like a real mobster, there's a feeling of people behind him you can feel. He's been around men day in and day out and had to, or let's say a champion wrestler in a wrestling team.
Yeah.
Or a jiu-jitsu fighter, if he's been part of a team that they have to travel together, eat together, be uncomfortable together, defend together, that's what men are.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up wrestling.
You did?
I wrestled some jiu-jitsu, not a lot, and then mainly Muay Thai.
He's a champion wrestler right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Muay Thai. So
Nice.
I've done 4 years of Muay
Okay,
Thai.
but see, that's the thing. We go to the gym when we leave. Our tribe is outside. So one thing about IMC Nation is, like, we just moved to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
4 or
Everybody
5,
moved with you.
over 40 guys, and coming still.
Uh,
Listen, 8 houses. I'm about to tell you, 8 houses of just men, 4 or 5, get together. I live with 4 of them. So this is all basis, and we live together, and we focus and we work and we're on our process. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy relationships. Some are married, and they still live at the base, no longer with their wives. And the wives are actually here. Many have multiple girlfriends. I'm not the only guy anymore with multiple girlfriends. Many, but without the men as a bonding camaraderie, couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. That's why I keep getting stronger. Every one person that says, IMC Nation, me, AZD, gets one step bigger. I'm a giant right now. I'm a giant because I stand on the shoulders of IMC Nation.
I see it, and that's what I wanted to bring to light here is because today, and you know, everybody deals with it, but the men today, they're soft, they're weak.
Because they don't belong to a tribe.
Right.
A tribe makes you earn your position.
But what do you do about it? How do you take, how do you, Arash Dibazar, see somebody, see the potential of somebody, bring that out, tell them this is who you are, like what is the structure behind that? What is the structure?
So, this is so cool. This is the first time I'm going to say this, okay? I've always wanted to say it. This is the only podcast I've said this in, but I haven't done many podcasts. But this is, I think, very, very important. I'm going to take you through a little story here. For you guys that are recording me, my people, chop from beginning of the story to the end of the story, because I've never said this like this. Let me look cooler. No, I think I look cooler. It's God talking. If we have, let me name some people I highly admire that live in Vegas. Floyd Mayweather. I admire him greatly. If we have Floyd Mayweather sit here and we said that he's a boxing champion, undefeated, blah, 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 and then there was another group of men sitting there, and then we said, we all can kind of guess the path it takes to become a world champ. We can see you got to go to the gym, you got to get up early, diet. Got that? Floyd Mayweather. Now we're going to move into the side. Let's bring a musician. Let's say Eminem. I admire him. He sits here. Great, one of the greatest rappers ever lived. There's men out there, they go, well, now that I heard Eminem, I want to be one of the greatest rappers. So I'm going to go rap battle. I'm going to write every day. I'm going to show up to the studio. There's a path. There's a path for the fighter, musician, businessman. We put here Jordan Belfort, another guy I admire. And he's like, you could be a billionaire, whatever. And they go, okay, I gotta work hard, I gotta learn sales. Got that? All right, here we go. If Mystery, my teacher, Eric if he was sitting here, I would tell you, I walked the path he laid out for me. And I became, at some point, a master pickup artist. If my teacher, Sandra Batata, shout out to Sandra Batata, was sitting here, jiu-jitsu, I can tell you, I'm his first black belt. So I followed the steps he did with his teacher. He's the first black belt under Gordo. Shout out Gordo. Got it? But now, to your question, what does Araj? I'm sitting here. Ready? And there's going to be an audience. And this is the proper introduction for me. Founder of a worldwide men's movement that's growing every day. Ready? Now, find the path to get here. Start. I'm going to sit back, and there'll be a panel that tells young men how to start a movement because you speak. Can you tell me? Do you go to the gym for that? Do you read a book, philosophy? Do you make a YouTube video? Well, how does one start a movement? 8 houses here. Hashtag IMC Nation, look it up. It's everywhere. I mean, you can't even imagine how big it is right now, actually. So where is the path to get here? Ready? The answer to your question is it must come from above. And so What do I do? You ask me to get someone out of that.
Yeah.
The same thing that jumped me here without a path that I can lay for anybody is the same thing that sees what I need to see and tells me what to say. And I have no other explanation. I can't tell you it's a book I read. It's the technique because you're blinking. It's not that. I know it when I know it, and when I know it, there's no doubting it. There's just no doubting it. You know, we came to Las Vegas off of one moment, of one vision. Nobody ever thought, I never thought I would leave San Jose. I finished teaching class. That's Yogi Chris. He was in the kitchen. He lives with me. From the seat to the kitchen, I saw in one moment where we are right now. In one moment. And I said to him, bro, what did I say to you? Do you remember the words?
We gotta move. Yeah, we gotta move. What do you think about Vegas?
Well, bro, we gotta move. What do you think about Vegas? How many days later, how many days from that day were we in Vegas fully moved? Do you guys remember?
21.
3 weeks. On the third week, we were based in Vegas in our own residence. Within 1 month, 8 houses here. Ready? How does that happen? That's why I spoke the way I spoke in the beginning. Because if I don't, the consequences are much greater.
If you don't speak,
What the truth is that's coming out of my soul,
Yeah.
spilling.
you have to get it out.
I've tried not doing that. I had insomnia. I was weak. I started to become a bad person. I lost a love inside my heart. My reward comes directly from up there. Now I'm going to tell you that's a quote from the Quran. I know that for sure. Okay, you know how I know that? Because when I read the Quran, that quote is the one quote that stuck in my mind ever since a child. And I knew that that was the one message of that book to me. And since then, I stopped asking women for anything, businessmen for anything. Yeah, I'll take beautiful women, I'll take money, I'll take everything everybody gives. But what I want must come from the Creator. Nobody has the power to give me that. So since nobody has the power to give me that, they have no power to influence me any more than, you know, would you like some pizza? I don't care how shiny it is. Because I have to answer at the end of my life. I don't know what's gonna happen. I know I'm not gonna be in oblivion. That I can tell, just my intelligence of knowing energy and soul. Too much evidence that when this body drops, I have to be aware. How aware? I don't know, bro. And it's not even about fear of me. It's the fact that I love my mom and dad so much that I don't ever want to lose contact with them.
Yeah.
One wish from God, one wish. Keep me and my family and a few handful of people I met that were not blood together forever in a bubble. And I don't care what else happens, God. I'll sell my soul to God for that, to the devil for that, to a soapbox for that. I'll sell my soul to you for that. I'll turn gay or non-binary for that. I'll cut my legs off for that. There's nothing in this world that I wouldn't do for that one thing. And I think when a man and a woman knows what it is they really want, they can start to live fearlessly. Is everything okay back there?
Yeah, are we good on that?
Yeah, he just, the clock.
Oh, this is the
off.
clock.
It's
Okay, we're good. It's fine.
Did you hit it?
It was clipped and I hit the thing down
Oh,
here.
I see.
So, I want to go. Now, I want to ask you.
Oh, that was good.
So, so today, when you have all of the young men that are essentially repressed.
My last student that came in class was 50. That's a young man too. Let's not think it stops at 40.
Okay.
The older generation of men are very alone right now. They don't even know how to use, you know?
Yeah.
Those guys are alone, man.
What do you
Men
think?
are alone.
What do you think the biggest mistake they make is?
They got the wrong information. If you have the wrong information, no matter how hard you apply it, like if this hand is cut, but you keep ointmenting this one, it won't matter.
Yeah.
We're so smart. That's, bro, the moment a man listens to me talk, one of two things is gonna happen to your audience. They're gonna love me or hate me. It's gonna be very difficult to be neutral, right? The ones that love me are gonna love me because they understand the intelligence that's speaking. Because it requires that intelligence to see it, right? And that intelligence is very intelligent because I know how smart I am. So anybody who understands that and resonates with it, I'll tell them. That's who I'm here for, by the way. I'm here for the one who understands. I'm not trying to make everyone understand.
Yeah.
The one who understands my language, he may be one person that just watches your YouTube because every person was one person. You were one person 10 years ago when you saw the YouTube.
Yeah.
So he could be that guy. I
Yeah.
was one person when I met my
So
teacher.
your message spoke enough to me
Yeah.
that it's still stuck in my mind 10
Yeah.
years later.
So I'm saying that for those people, the only thing I gotta tell them for all these years, and I'm still in the game, bro. I'm gonna go out again tonight. I'm always researching this shit. I'm obsessed. I would tell them, you just don't have the right information.
Yeah.
If you have the right information, then you will get the right result.
What do you mean information? So what kind of information?
Okay, I would like to use somebody that I think I should show a lot of respect to, and his name is Andrew Tate. Now, I would like to show him respect because he holds the championship belt in what I do.
Yeah.
So it would be so little of me to make him little right now when he holds the championship belt. No, he's a world champion. But remember when Mike Tyson was coming up and no one knew him?
Yeah.
He looked at the world champion and he knew something I know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't last more than 10 seconds. And Mike showed that. The wrong information is coming from the top, like Andrew Tate. There's just enough truth to affect you emotionally,
Yeah.
but if you apply that with women, you're not going to be fulfilled. And we're seeking fulfillment for both of us, her and me. We both have to be fulfilled. Otherwise it won't work. It's a relationship.
So do you feel he is too focused on only the man's point of view, or
No, I think that actually, when it comes to women, and I can hear it all over his voice. And I think that he's great at what he does. But again, I have to go back to Mike Tyson, one of my heroes. He definitely showed that all the champions before him couldn't last one minute. So that's what's happening right now. This is the evolution of this art and science, because everything I have from this. I didn't make my money the way he did. If you know how he made his money, I made every penny that bought these glasses and this watch and this ring and this shirt and these shoes and that water. Every penny is because I spoke a word that someone paid to hear it again. It didn't come from anywhere else. So because of that, his information may have stopped at somewhere that the information kept evolving through me. So he has to set the stage. That's why I show him the respect I show him, because of him, I know that that's my stage. Because there's a champion, Mike Tyson can be a champion because there's a boxing league. Because Andrew Tate is there, the entire world is going to listen to me one day.
Scott? Is it possible we could turn off the AC? I'm freezing.
There's a lot of guys in here.
I know. I'm freezing. You don't have to turn it off, but just like turn it up a little bit. I'm from Arizona, man. I'm freezing.
Oh, that's way different.
So you guys should come out, dude. Scottsdale would be really
Invite us, we'll go.
I would love to, and we'll I got a guy. We'll get everything set up, and you guys can host.
How far is the drive?
So if this is the movement,
Yeah.
where do you bring it? So right now, okay. So for those people, they hear the word movement.
Yeah, what kind of movement?
What kind of movement?
There's some basic tenets. Okay, that's a great question, right? There's some basic tenets. Number one is that the individual has a right to decide for himself everything.
Yeah.
You have to take, for a man, and I'll speak again, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Buddhist, but I am a Christian. Why? I believe in Christ, I believe in Muhammad, I believe in Buddha. I believe in the writings. I just don't think I really everything they said. So I keep studying them, but every single one of them I acknowledge, every single one. And they made me greater because I've read them, studied them, heard about them, or talked about them. So I would say that the first step for a man is to recognize he is a representative of God on earth, the Father. So he must have a relationship with God over everything. Now, he has to decide what that is. So we have all kinds of different denominations, I would say. So we even have atheists. And I tell them, if you're an atheist, you believe in atheism, you know what I mean? I mean, that's a belief itself, because there's a jump in that. You're still gonna have a theory there, right? It's not as scientific as you think it is. There's proof, and there's also you need to prove more. So, but that's not my business. My business is for a man to get his spine back, to feel what I felt. Look, bro, the reason I teach abundantly and speak abundantly is because all I do is, for my teacher mode, I tap into the feeling, and then I let the feeling speak. So I feel that. I feel unbreakable. I feel unshakable. Because I have a philosophy that won't break. We're mental creatures, man. Physically, anybody could beat me up. So what?
For me, it's leaning into the fear. Every day, leaning into the fear. I'm afraid of a ton of stuff. Actually,
No, it's
I'm
very
afraid
honest.
of a lot of stuff. And all I do is I just pretend that it's. I just pretend I'm not even there. I'm just doing it.
How do you feel about the word courage? I'm curious.
Courage is
What's your relationship with that? Tell me a little bit about courage.
doing what I need to do, even if it stands in the way of consequences that may be more responsibility, may be a more difficult path.
Is it a powerful word to you, or is it a weak word? How do you, what's the feeling? Is there a feeling behind courage?
Courage is, I think most words I feel fairly neutral about.
And that one too?
I would say it leans into, for me, a little bit of fear.
That's what I'm getting to, though. How do you feel about courage? Let's stay on that. I'm gonna bridge it in a second.
But courage, I feel as though it's something that it's a necessity.
Why?
I think that the world is tough, and if you don't put your stamp on the world, if you don't push your energy out, then somebody.
Is it important? So it's important to have courage.
Yeah.
Is it a high value to you as a man?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So here's my question: when do we see courage? Something has to be there first before we know that's courageous.
When do we see it?
When does courage show up in the world? Something must be happening for us to go, that's courageous, right? Because it's not courageous for me to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
but it might be courageous for me to stand up and speak my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
What must be there for courage to exist? Something must be there.
Difficulties.
What kind of difficulty? It's a very specific difficulty that courage shows up when that shows up. It's a relationship between courage and there's another word.
Chaos.
Almost. Chaos makes one feel what?
Uneasy.
And uneasy is another way of saying what? Starting to get uneasy. A guy walks in the bar, he's kind of loud, I'm getting uneasy. What is uneasiness going to lead to if he keeps getting loud?
Conflict.
And how do I feel about conflict?
Probably not. You don't like it.
Am I fearful or not at any point?
Possibly.
Would it be true if I said courage is only measured to the degree that fear must exist for people to go, that was courageous?
Yes.
That without fear, we can't even measure courage. Like we know the fireman is courageous because he runs in the fire, because we don't run in the fire. Or the policeman or whoever runs into danger, we measure their courage because we would be afraid during that time. And we can't say it's courageous if we don't measure fear. Someone said, did you see how courageous I was? What'd you do? Dude, I went to my car and I got the water out of the trunk. Oh, why is that courageous? Because. No, it's not. But if there was a tiger outside and there was a baby in a stroller and someone grabbed the baby and brought it back, you go, oh my God, how'd you do that? Because the tiger is so dangerous, right? Now if the tiger became a pit bull, less dangerous, became a chihuahua, and then it became a worm, no more danger. To the degree there's fear of loss, courage shows up. Because you said you're afraid of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And what I hear is you could be one of the most courageous men you've ever met if you just knew that. Because you're either giving into that fear or you're not. And if you're not, you must be using what I think is courage at that moment. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, I'd like to know. If I'm right, I'd like to... So, have you ever thought about yourself as a courageous man, not a fearful man? Because courage can't exist without fear. Look at all the shit you're afraid of and still how much you do.
Yeah.
People stop because they have that fear.
Yeah.
You don't stop.
So.
So you have to use what? You must be more courageous and fearful. Yet, your subconscious mind tells you you're fearful. So as long as you feel yourself as fearful, that'll be your experience of it. But it's just really though, you're doing everything. You're not in your house by yourself, not talking to anybody. You're not taking these risks. You're actually most likely the most courageous person you know in your life, because nobody could take all the risks you took. They were afraid. They stayed very. Because if you're traditional, you must come from a traditional family, and the traditional family all did what they were told. So you must be a rebel in your family. Are you a rebel?
Yeah. I'm the only one who didn't stick to the 9 to 5. I'm the only one who didn't do the college route. I mean, a lot of them, are still working it out, but nonetheless, they're all still kind of.
So if you became an uncle, or if in the generations that come past you, 2-3 generations, when they look at your picture in the family tree, that was one of the most courageous people in our family. Not the most fearful, but he was aware enough to know about the fear and overcome it. Because fear, we all feel it. That's what I know. See, when I approach a beautiful woman, I feel the fear everybody feels. It's not that I don't. I also have much more courage than that fear could ever give me. I'm gonna have to overcome inside to approach her.
I think what you're speaking on, for me, touches on legacy. The
Go on.
idea of legacy that I never even thought about, really.
But it's a big word to you because when you said I felt it. Your words?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you say you don't have a relationship with words very much. Or feeling, but legacy is one.
Mhm.
So now go into that. Tell me, why is legacy so big?
Because when you say that, I didn't actually think that I would ever want kids. But when you say it the way that you did, that the grandkid could look up and say that was one of the most courageous men I've ever, we've ever known. That does put a new spin on having kids.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because I didn't even think about that. Like, I didn't want kids.
So I want to say something because,
I planted a seed in my mind for sure.
Okay. Well, this is a big seed because I'm about to water it. That jump, that story that I said, how I know what I know, I'm about to tell you something that's literally about that. I don't think too many people should have kids. But when you say that, I know you should have kids. You don't have to take my word, but there's your indication. Like, if you've never thought about it, I told that man the same thing, the black man right there. That's it. Monk Life Records president. So, when you said that, you would be a great dad. And we need kids. We just need responsible adults. So we could have some kids,
Right.
and those adults can actually guide them.
Right.
And you have best of both worlds. You're traditional, yet progressive. Courageous enough to challenge the tradition that didn't work. Right? Yet traditional enough to not lose yourself in the progression.
I couldn't, yeah, because I was raised a certain way, and you said disrespect, I can't disrespect my parents, and that's why I want to do the way that I'm doing it in a certain way, and also because I know there's these unseen forces that are, unseen forces of darkness that are going to come after any level of success I have.
I agree.
And I know that it just happens.
Mhm.
And so what I'm trying, or I guess the last guy said, don't ever say the word try. But whatever.
Tell them who are you to tell me that.
Huh?
Say who are you to correct me.
But the truth is, I think he had a good mindset. And he's
Can you give me the water from the car?
when you do it, you're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it. When you do it, you're gonna do it.
And I think that you should rent this studio.
Okay.
You should come back more often.
Okay.
And I think that you should put this out more often.
Okay.
And I think that with everybody here, I mean, it's super doable. You could bring a guy, bring him, and you can play them, and you
I don't want to break it. I want to make them.
but you can make them. I think you can break them, you can make them. I think that would be, in itself.
Okay. I have a relationship with words. I feel every word. I feel every word. Something in my brain does that. And so I gotta make it clear because I think that's one of the reasons why it's my turn to be on podcasts. Because there's this idea of some of these alpha guys that I see, right?
Yeah.
There's this idea that you have to break a man to make him. I never want to break a man. If I felt, just so you know, and these guys can vouch for it, if I felt at any point that your soul was in danger of being lessened,
Yeah.
I would have not spoke. I got right to the edge, didn't break you. All I did is wake you.
Yeah.
I was just saying, hey, wake up. Hey, wake up. No, wake up. That's all I was saying. I wasn't trying to break you and you wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you know how you know that? Because I woke you up to the fact that you're actually one of the most courageous people you know. That's a wake up. You were sleeping in fear. You woke up to courage. That's that. So I don't like when guys go and they break people down. Who's this guy we were just talking about? Elliot Halls? No. Also,
Jean Anthony?
no. Remember that we were just talking about?
He's a sales guy, Elliot something.
Oh, Andy Elliott.
Elliot Rogers.
So he's like, he looks good. I like the way he speaks. A lot of things I like about him. And then there's an underlying tone in all these guys. They kind of just talk down to people. I can't do that. Because, okay, so then there's another thing with Andrew Tate. I'm the smartest person that's ever been on the planet, and my highest intelligence will let you know, you little monkeys, that you are really not making enough money.
You don't think it's a character though?
Maybe. I can't say it's not. This is a character. This is a character. If that could be a character. What do you think? Think it's a character?
I don't play enough characters. I think.
No, do you think that's the character he's doing?
I think. It's yeah, I think it's. I don't think it's really him.
Okay, maybe you're right.
I know
Never thought
guys
about
who know him apparently.
He's not like that.
He's more quiet. He's more quiet, and he wants to plan. And then when he goes on, he turns it on. Apparently.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So, anyways, but the reason I brought that up is I'm tired of men trying to break men down to lift them up. I grew up in the martial arts. That's how I was taught. Until I met a guy named Manu Chateau. He didn't break me down ever, but he did tell me the truth.
Yeah.
He told me the truth, and it was different when I heard the truth. I couldn't sleep. Because here was a man who for the first time kept his integrity and didn't compromise anything. If I had never met him, I don't know if I definitely wouldn't be the way I am for sure, but I don't know if I would have ever, no, because after him, I never saw that quality again until I looked in the mirror. I became that quality. I've yet to see a man stand that firm. Now, David Goggins stands firm. I mean, he's not shakable. You know who one of my favorite people is that I want to give a shout out to? Wes Watson.
Yeah.
If you get a word to that guy, AZD's a fan.
He goes to the same podcast studio. He knows my buddies. They all know.
If that ends up anywhere, everybody watches it. Big fan, Wes Watson. Big fan. So there was a few people like that. But I had a privilege of meeting a man they didn't meet. And the man I met didn't break me down. He lifted me up with his words. And it felt different.
So with the tribe,
Yeah.
what's the what are you guys doing together? Like, what's the goal with this?
Every man comes because at some point he realizes that some reel of mine or video of mine spoke to his heart or to his mind, right? Normally, normally it has to do with relationships. Like I said, some people that are very famous that you would know their names, they've come to me and they've been my students and they have the same problem everybody else has. Sometimes, no, honestly, I just realize their problem's worse. I've known some really high level people that are really broken in these relationships, dude. Mm-hmm. So normally that's the route someone comes, right? Mm-hmm. And then we get together every morning, and so we go out. That's why we're in Las Vegas. We go out every night, and we test this philosophy in the world. What's the philosophy? Can I be this real as I am with you? With a beautiful woman, ready, who doesn't know me. And at the end of the interaction, she wants to know me more. She'll hang out with me later, potentially be my girlfriend. I believe that's such a high level of understanding and communication, because I do it, that if a man is able to do that, he's able to handle every relation in his life. Because in order to do what I do, and I do is, you know, it's described as miracle, it's described as magic. I know it's a little bit like out of reality to say that right now, but that's why I invited the world to come and live with me and see for themselves the effects that I create in a social situation with the most beautiful women and men. And I don't mean like men want to fuck me or anything, but it's like, excuse my language, but they want to align themselves and get to know me and things like that, right? It's like a perfect movie character that I am, because I designed the character. So our ultimate goal is the same goal as any philosopher of Stoicism, which is we work on our character. And we've realized, just like you're in my opinion, from what I've observed so far, just here, very clean, very honest, very ethical, intelligent, so many good qualities, right? And I would say those qualities are going to strengthen tremendously when you can face a beautiful woman and be able to transfer that feeling to her without her thinking you're a nice guy, you don't like that, without her thinking you're a pushover, without her thinking all the things that women think that's their defense mechanism to not get trapped in a bad relationship. Mm-hmm. So as great of a guy as you are, the last guy in here, when it comes to transferring that to the woman, not only is it difficult, it's becoming impossible because of the way society's brainwashed.
Yes.
Feminism, all that stuff. So we go out there and we practice talking to women and men. Conversation. We are stoics in modern time.
I think that spoken word is one of the most powerful tools. That's why
I think it is the most.
I think it is, and that's why I wanted to do this, because I know the younger generation, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube. If you can't reach them in person and they're stuck on their phones, then you gotta get them where they are.
They're the future, bro.
And I think that that's part of what I want to do is build these kids up to become good people.
Yeah. They need role models.
Yeah, and I think it's so important. And I think that part of this red pill community, it's this, that, toxic masculinity.
So we're not red pill anymore.
Exactly.
We're like purple.
Right.
Okay? We're like this. We love the woman.
Right.
Because she's my mom. And she's my sister, she's my niece, and she's my grandma.
But the last thing is, so it doesn't get misconstrued, is I think it's necessary to have to speak on what so many men are suppressing.
Thank you. That's my job. And I'm doing my job, and I'm good at it, and I think I'm a prophet of it. Honestly, I think I'm a prophet of game. That's how I see myself, because I am in touch with God. I wouldn't say one word that doesn't come out of me, doesn't come out of that.
And I also don't think it's a bad thing, because if it leads to relationships.
Look, it changed. The red pill was great because it red pilled men. You know why? Because every movement gets infiltrated.
Yep.
It got infiltrated. So did MGTOW. Got infiltrated.
Yeah,
And
they
then IMC Nation won't get infiltrated. IMC Nation is only men. Did you know that? No women, no children allowed in my classes. Civilizations built on men. So women could enjoy the fruits. She can enjoy the fruits of us building. You understand that? Her job is not to help us build. Her job is to take care of our children, to make our house warm. Why? Does she want to live in a cold house? No. Then here you go, baby. Warm it up. Her job is to anchor us to God's softness. Her job is to show us there's a reason to pick up the sword and slay the dragon, because otherwise we just want to play video games. She's the greatest motivation I found on earth. And you asked me how I got into this. I was such a martyr for martial arts. Like, I gave my life to this damn thing, dude. Until I picked up game. And the transition was difficult, I still miss it. It's like being married to someone that...
You don't train still? You still train?
Barely. I was teaching for a while. I'll teach again. We're going to open up here. But no. Because there's a certain level that I was training at. So I can never say that I'm training unless I train at that level. I don't... Because that's why I never respected anybody who didn't train at my level.
Yeah, we just had Jake Shields here like a few hours ago.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. He's incredible.
Working UFC, I love I just love the sport. I've been training, and I'm not at that level, but I want to go to Thailand for a few
Hell yeah.
years.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like Jake Shields, there's a great example. Like, I'd be embarrassed to tell him that I'm a fighter. Like, I'm not. He is. Right? That's what I'm saying. But it's not that I wasn't. There would have been a time, I don't care what name you said in front of me, I would have been able to fight. I'm not win, but I would have fought. Yeah. That's not me. This is what I do now. Right? And that never leaves my soul, but I just admire it. Like, I admire it right now. Oh, man, because I know what it takes to be there, right? But game took over my life because I saw that women were the fastest evolution of men. I swear, bro.
I think so.
They're the biggest fuel. We do everything for them.
I do.
Empires fall and go away because of it. Helen of Troy, Cleopatra, because of a woman. Right. We gotta learn from history. We can't do that. Even today, they use women to blackmail the celebrities and the politicians.
Yeah.
You can't blackmail me with a woman. How? What are you gonna give me? A woman who's gonna have sex with me? I got it. Better than you. I don't care who you hire. I'm gonna go get one. I have the skills to meet a woman, get to know her, get her to know me. And since I know I'm a good human being, I'm a good character, and I'm a strong man, she may not like a bald tattooed guy. She may like a tall, handsome guy. She may like a black man. Who knows? But some girls like tattooed guys, right? So that's I'm going to go meet them. So I can't be blackmailed, and I think that's a big deal because blackmail. Normally, it's either money, and I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. Or it's sex. Not gonna happen to me and my students. Nah, you can't use sex against us. Sex is not a weapon against the man. That's where the world messed up. They started to say, you know, she who has the vagina controls and has the power. That's not true. The power is not even anything to... Stop talking about power when it comes to relationships. It's a word you don't use in a relationship. It's rude on the dinner table.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about my power in relationship.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
And that's the power of words. The power of words is that certain words should never be used. If I have a black friend, I'm never gonna say nigga what's up. But if he's not there, I might say nigga what's up to another guy. But it's out of respect for him, even though he wouldn't mind. But there are certain words I would never use in certain contexts. In front of my dad, I don't swear. At all. I even wear long sleeve. I don't want him to see my tattoos. I wear a hat. No matter how hot it is, I wear a collar. He doesn't like my tattoos. He knows I'm tattooed.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is what I love about mankind. Everything I just said in the last 2 minutes, I love about mankind. I'm in love with the soul of man. And I'm powerful. And challenge me. Did you get that? I'm in love with the soul of man. And I'm powerful. Challenge me. So you see how strong I am.
What does that mean, though?
It means challenge me philosophically anywhere, on any show, any time, any day. Don't pay me a penny. I don't care. But debate with me to find out why I fell in love with the soul of man. Because if you did too, then you might like yourself. Because I am man. And man means man, woman, man, mankind. All of us. I fell in love with the man's soul, woman's soul, child soul, old man's soul. White man, black man, purple man's soul. I fell in love with the soul of man. And it hurts when you fall in love with the soul of man. It's not comfortable. Because everywhere you look, he's suffering.
Yeah.
You hear it in his voice. One of my exercises that I do by myself is at some point I sing a song and I imagine it's me and God. And I tell myself, the only way to heaven is if I gut my voice to him right now. And I don't care what it sounds like at that moment. But when I finish, it could be 30 seconds, it could be a minute. I sit back and I'm drained of energy. And I realize how much my voice was suffocated. Because for 30 seconds of really expressing myself, my heart beats so fast. And I sit there literally tired. In fact, prior to the show, that's what I did. And prior to any important, very important activity, which is what? Every night. Because there are no ordinary moments. This is another moment of my life. There's another moment of your... Yeah, it's very beautiful. But if eating dinner tonight is less beautiful, then we messed up. Then we messed up, bro. We messed up. And how do you get beautiful women? You have a beautiful soul like me. You have a beautiful speech like me. How many people right now forgot I had tattoos? Yeah, everyone. See, they don't see the laughter, but they're watching too and they forgot. They forgot that I look like this. I forget that I look like this. When I get a glimpse of myself in the mirror, I panic. I think I shouldn't be out. I'm not kidding with you. I get shy and I get nervous. Every night, at some point, I look at the stupid elevator that we get into. It's going to be either at Cosmo or Bellagio or some hotel. And that moment is always a trip when I walk in and I see I'm like, ugh. And then I look to the right and I see a side view. I look to the left, I see the side view. And I tell myself, damn, that's what everybody's looking at tonight. Okay. Keep that in mind when you're so free in your communication, because you look scary, bro. But inside, I'm not like that. Inside, I'm like a 5-year-old kid. Inside, you and I are 5 and 7, going outside to kick the fucking soccer ball, and then go buy some freaking basketball cards, and then go sit down and watch Saturday morning cartoons or something, and talk about which cereal we had. I never grew up. Did you? I didn't. I'm 47. I never did.
Yeah.
I was watching Looney Tunes before I got here.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the same music. Does anybody grow up? Is anybody out there? Am I the only traveler? Oh, are you listening to this shit also going, God, he's right. You're a kid. You're a kid. That 8-year-old guy's a kid. Remember Hugh Hefner?
Yeah.
And he's still chasing girls and still living that life. In his house, a theater, he's watching old movies of his childhood, listening to the same music, wearing a robe. He showed me that you could be 100 years old and you still want women like that. He was the honest. Well, in that level, I heard he was kind of cricket, but you know, like, so hopefully I'm that. Because some people don't know who Hugh Hefner is. I have multiple girlfriends. I date whoever I want. This is consensual. I don't lie to one woman at all. I'm proud of what I do. I get women because of my communication skills, my character, and I get the most beautiful women on the planet. And what does get mean? We get into a relationship where we start understanding each other and growing together. Love grows all the time. You're not the same next year. You gotta be in communication and talk. You've met a man who's actually fulfilled on earth at 2024 in relationships. And so are my girlfriends, and they're fine. Okay? Now what are you gonna do with that? I'm either lying or I'm honest. If I'm telling you the truth, you need to confront your life tonight. And if I'm lying, then let's find out. Let's find out, prove me wrong.
Okay, so with that, I think that, Arash, thank you so much for your time.
Dang, thank you.
I think we got a lot of good content.
It's going viral.
It's gonna go viral. The only thing is the beginning. I want to do some.
Do whatever you
chopping
want to do. This is your show.
That's it. Just the beginning. I want to chop up a little bit for the. I don't want to lose the main
Whatever you want.
message from the front end. People are I'm gonna work my content.
Bro, do what
Alright.
you do. We're not gonna miss nothing for you.
What are you thinking, bro? He has something to say.
Say it. Say whatever you want to say, anybody.
Come on, I want to hear it.
Yeah,
Opinion.
come
Oh,
on.
look, man, I thought it was one of the most beautiful podcasts you were gonna ever had, especially because of the beginning. Now that's my opinion, just
Yeah.
because
Maybe when I watch it, it won't be as crazy as when I was feeling it. You know?
you're in it.
I was in it.
Don't you want people to feel that?
Bro.
I think you should let it go.
You really think?
Honestly, no, I mean, chop it up right, but don't cut out that piece.
Yeah.
And
No,
why-
no,
why-
my piece, I'm gonna keep.
It was just profound
His pieces
enough
I'm gonna
to,
keep.
to
The
cut
only
through.
part
I don't
I'm gonna
think we should
cut
do that.
is the explanative, that stuff that I guess I didn't tell him. I was like, we can go rated R, but then I was like, to me, I guess my rated R is like PG-13.
Bleep it. Could you bleep it? Just bleep, bleep.
Yeah,
bleep, bleep.
to a certain degree. So
No,
I'm gonna
you-
take it and smoothen it, but they're gonna do it so clean. You're not gonna like when you guys see it. It's not gonna be like all like.
Look,
raw.
here's what I'm gonna tell you. You asked me about INC Nation, okay? Here's our belief. This is your content.
Yep.
Do whatever you want. You're the master of it. We have nothing to say. We're just giving our opinion, bro.
Yeah.
Like really, we hold you as the creator of it, and we respect the shit out of it. So don't worry about it. We're just giving. If you don't mind hearing our opinion,
Yeah.
that's the opinion. But no pressure here. That's
Was
how we
this all
operate.
streamed on live too, or?
Yeah, but I ended it and deleted the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah, yeah,
So I restarted when you said it was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. When we're
So-
good, when we're clear. when
Yeah,
we're
from
clear,
then
we're
on-
clear.
oh, from now on
And-
it's been-
and you know what's crazy? Most people would not probably agree with. Honestly, a lot of people I think would not agree. Just like they would just be like whatever. I agree with his kind of theory of breaking, like break. Even though he doesn't say the word break.
I didn't really care. We'll
Not break, but I
It's more
mean,
like, it's more like popping.
yeah, but he's like
It's
saying
like
like
you get
pop
popped,
the-
you
it's like
pop.
pop and then wake up. You know, like
Yeah.
You woke up. Everybody
Waking
saw
up.
it.
Yeah.
And so when he said like when he's like waking up, I think whether he knows he's doing it or maybe he just lets it come out. He saw because he also has a lot of experience with you guys, and he goes, he is constantly talking and looking at somebody and trying to look into what they're dealing with, and I think he sees and he saw what I was dealing
I
with.
see, bro. I have a gift of sight. Everyone knows that. Otherwise, people wouldn't follow me. To
Yeah,
videos.
that's why you have so many. You know, that's why people are here.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Like what I said, right? How do you create a path of a guy who created a worldwide movement?
yeah.
Wasn't it somebody who was divinely inspired? I mean, where else do they come
But the
from?
only thing, maybe it's I'm different or what.
Yeah.
I like the clean. I know it looks weird, but I like the cleanest. I don't care look. You know.
What does that mean?
Because you guys, a lot of you guys want to like put like a line right here, like a lip ring right here,
Oh.
like the peacocking, the earrings.
yeah.
I used to have the earrings. I used to do that.
Yeah.
And you know what I realized? I was like, man, I just want to be like I'm in shape.
Yeah.
And if you don't think I can fight, that's fine. But
No.
I'm not like I'm not a pro.
Well, you
but
gotta
I'm
see
not-
Octavio, bro. He's cleaner than you. Where's
Oh.
Octavio? He's not here. When you see Octavio, he looks cleaner than you.
Yeah, like
And
I
he
just
tells us.
keep it like that, and I just go and I like. So if they see I want to keep business, but I feel like that alone, and then just me doing my thing. That's my
You
best
gotta
game.
do it.
That's my game.
Yeah.
That's my game. And
No,
by the
our
way,
game is everybody's unique.
Yes.
It's not what you think at all. Just like this
well,
podcast.
from the outside,
conversation.
because from the outside, you see it and you look and you see it, and then you're like, is there like a sort of, and I don't mean any disrespect, is there some sort of like cultish thing going on
Yeah.
too?
It's a
I'm saying the
culture.
word because you guys need to hear
It's a
the word.
culture.
Oh, we hear it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've heard it a lot.
So it's
I've
like,
been
is there
hearing
like
it
a
for years.
cultish thing? But then it's
Sure,
not.
no.
I don't think, and this is the thing. I went to a thing called Landmark Education. I think it's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
and I never thought that was a cult, and people call that a cult, and that changed my life for the better. So I would like to grow in my main thing. You know what the main thing is?
Look, this is one of our
Self-expression.
guys. He's gonna come out right now. You don't look like that guy. Look how clean he is.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he doesn't have no fucking piercings. Look at him. That's
Yeah.
the dude. He's out. Right
He's
now.
clean. Yeah. You just keep
Yeah.
it clean. That's
He's
like,
not intonation.
for me.
Yeah.
And actually, you're pretty clean too. You just do the one thing right here and then the earrings. But I don't mean disrespect, but I think
No,
it
I get what you're
works.
saying.
I think
I get
it
what you're
works.
saying. Yeah.
Like, cause he's like saying be untethered. Okay, I'm gonna be untethered. Like when I
Yeah.
see you, that's what I think. When I see you, like this is what I think. You know.
Good.
But not like in a disrespect. Like if you're a tribe, you should be able to say that, right?
Yeah.
So I need more guy friends. I'm in Arizona. I still, in a way, I still like to do the sort of like solitary my own thing. But at the end of the day, too, like I don't think I've fully stepped out into who I really want to be online or in the world even.
Bro, hold on. Now we're no longer on your show. You know, you have a lot to go. You're an infant in this thing that I do, and what I do is not just getting women; it's communication.
Yeah, and I don't really care to be
That's
honest too
just
much about the
shit.
women thing.
But
It's-
you
it's-
do.
I do. I mean, I just think.
That's the problem.
If I so resign myself completely, I don't know.
Why would you do that though? Why would you
I
do
just
that?
think I care more about success right now and proving
Yeah, but do you
my
understand that
father's
we can't-
legacy. You know.
But do you know that's all doing?
Yeah.
But do you know the difference? I hear you, but since you're lacking in women, I don't believe you. And us, we have an abundance of women. So if I say that, it'll sound more true than the way you said it. Do you
But
see
that's
what
the
you just
thing,
said?
though. I mean, because when I followed you, I
Yeah.
listened to you, and I in my life I've had plenty of opportunities. Like not just opportunities, I took those opportunities.
Yes.
But I try to keep it, whatever.
Yes.
But I've done a lot. I've been and dated and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's
So it's easy for you. Don't have a problem getting women, is that what you're saying?
I don't.
The kind of women you want and keeping them. And
At this point I haven't tested myself. But I think.
so what happened
I
to this
think-
one in 6 months? Then where'd you move into?
I unfortunately think that I let it slip myself. Like in a way.
Yeah, but why would you? Because that's I'm channeling you. Your life
Because I
says
wanted,
otherwise.
I think I was split. 50% of me wanted to stay, and
Yeah.
maybe I want to be in a relationship. Just, I think I just want to grow one relationship, and then maybe I'll grow into more later. But that's what I thought, and then 50%.
That wouldn't work.
I know.
It wouldn't work because you started the relationship wrong.
Yeah, and that's what I realized. And so when I realized that, I knew the only way forward was to kind of let it.
So you let her go then? Because you're still making sense she left.
She left, but I kind of I influenced it.
Yeah. Did she surprise you suddenly?
She surprised me suddenly after not sleeping in the same bed for over a week.
Yeah.
And then also
Like
so,
you went home and suddenly she wasn't there? Is that what
no, like she was telling me
Could happen.
she was communicating. She was
Okay.
communicating a lot, and then telling me she's Cuban. She doesn't speak English.
Oh, okay.
She started speaking English now. We've been together 4 months. First 2 months she didn't speak that much English. I didn't speak that much Spanish. Now
Yeah.
we're kind of.
That's funny.
And she's immigrant, so I
Yeah.
liked her more because of she's immigrant values different.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was we had a little rough patch like the last 2 months, but something triggered all of a sudden. Like 2 weeks ago, triggered. Like just she got mad, got crazy, and not my brother, but call him my brother. One of my best friends, he told me, he's like, dude, the only way she did that, because women are not secure in one relationship without having another relationship or something secure already. So he said when she had to go check this apartment, which she was only gone for she was going to be gone for 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know, she left for 5 hours, and she was out and she was getting food. She's like, look, I'm by myself, I'm getting food. And I'm like, there's probably a guy right on the corner. There's probably, and then when the guy picked her up, which a guy picked her up from my house, okay? And you could say, oh, that's a simp, whatever, but I let it. Like, I was like, look, I'm not going to fight this guy on my front porch.
No.
And she said, this is the lady's son that she's staying with, and he's picking her up. And, he's a tall guy, whatever. And I'm like, I'm thinking, when I think tall, I think genuinely women want a taller
Yeah,
guy.
they
So
do.
if she's going after the shallow things, which are going to die, I already know, they're going to die away, she's going to remember me for sure. At the end of the day, I'm not going backwards to it. I already know what probably happened.
She was garbage.
Yeah, and
She was
so
already with him.
she was
That's when she
probably
left.
so she yeah for 5 months we were
Yeah.
or 6 months we lived together.
Yeah.
I think she must have played me to the next level that I've never been played before because I genuinely thought she was the one. Like I thought not the one, but like
Yeah.
I almost believed because she was so it seemed so healthy in the beginning and,
Yeah.
and she was everything was right. And when I first met her, she was like broken. She had like and also her story. She was man.
You know who's hearing that story right now? The next guy. She's running the same game on the next guy. I promise.
Oh, so that's a new guy. It's not her ex. You think this guy was her new guy or ex?
Do you think it was her ex? Because I don't know anything about that.
I don't know if it was her ex or not.
Why would you think anything about the ex?
All I know about is when we were applying for jobs, our old ex used to email. They used to email each other, but I saw the last communication were months before we started dating.
Yeah.
But they used to email, so
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe he was trying to, and they used to email back and forth.
Yeah.
So and it's all in Spanish, so like, so much harder to find this
We
stuff
can't
out.
say for sure, but these kind of girls, they run this kind of game, you know?
And I'm thinking, did she leave for this dude, or was it like?
Rob it.
There's
She
a
tried to rob
chance. There's a chance she didn't rob. Well, she robbed me, and for sure, but more than robbed. Because if I would have got robbed, then my stuff would have been gone, and that's it. She never took any of my stuff.
Not like that, yeah.
She took as many resources, and my dad told me this too. He's a business guy, traditionally.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's probably, and my parents, they said, there's a chance. And then 3 different people told me, there's a chance she's an immigrant, she's using you, she's doing this and that. I'm like, but she's not like, she wasn't the hottest girl,
Yeah.
and I chose her for that reason. I didn't want the hottest girl. I
Yeah.
wanted the best girl that seemed the most, like, I
Wholesome.
was like, I want a girl who's just not gonna leave me, who's gonna treat me right, cook, clean, this and that.
Yeah.
I sacrificed the looks, and guess what I got? 4 months later, had her in the gym. And I knew this in my head. I said, what if I do all this work and then she actually plays me? And I was like, I'm gonna accept that challenge.
There you go.
In my head. And 4 months later, I built her up to the point where she started to get good looking. She's
Yeah.
Cuban.
Yeah.
There's no way a Cuban girl gets in shape. She doesn't look good.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And so I had, and honestly, she wasn't out there yet. She had a little bit left, but like I know how I train.
Yeah.
I know how to train somebody.
Yeah.
I trained her like a pro. I mean, in 4 months, she went, choo, like she was getting.
Do you talk like this on your podcast?
No.
This is how you
This
talk.
is.
Bro, I know, but I'm getting to that point. My family. So here's the thing. I come from a Muslim background,
Yeah.
and then there's streamers that one will like swat you, so they send people to your house.
Yeah.
2, there's like I'm no offense to whoever, but I'm pro Palestine, and if I go into like the whole because I'm Muslim, and if I go into that whole thing like then and now like bro, I had just had the Jake Shields guy on. Some guy named because he's huge anti-Israel right now.
Okay.
And so some random, this part, hold on this part. Or
I
maybe pause it.
I can mute it.
Just mute it.
Alright.
Okay, mute it for a second, just because I don't want to get caught up on this.
Mute it.
So some
I love Muhammad and Buddha and Jesus. Like, I'm for all these guys.
Yeah.
I'm better because of
right.
That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and that's why. So yeah, because if somebody cuts it in a weird way, anything will look bad.
Oh, yeah,
So
totally.
I'm always very careful about it, this and that, and now I always have it. But at the end of the day, too, this one, all the cameras should be off for this part.
Uh-huh.
You get super famous, viral, this, that, you say crazy shit, and then boom, your next thing you know, you could be the next Andrew Tate 10 years behind bars. And I don't have the same level of training that Arash does, you know? Like, I do, like, in like, my mind, in a way, like, I know I could, but to defend, like, dude, this is, like, why is it a thought? Why is it a possibility that someone could be so good intentioned? And I know they say even the most evil people think they're
Do
good.
you know that Andrew Tate actually hurts women?
Yeah.
You don't know that, do you?
Yeah.
I didn't
See, that's why, bro.
What do you mean?
I have the chat logs.
We have his,
Yeah.
his private.
His students do it too.
Yeah.
They deleted it, but they sent it to us. See, I obviously didn't say that, but this guy, he drugs and beats women because that's what they're pushing in their class that I teach. It's unbelievable, but the proof he's gonna show you. But I can tell when he speaks there's something wrong with the guy. I remember he made his money off OnlyFans or something,
Yeah.
right? I didn't get into that, and he's in Romania. There's a lot of loose ends. His dad was CIA, do you know that?
And he became Muslim out of nowhere.
And like, there's just like, what the fuck? I think he's a plant.
Plant?
I think he's put
And he'd rather be with a 10 who's a tranny.
He's what?
He'd rather be with a trainee who's a 10.
Oh yeah, I remember when he said that. I thought it was just joking, right?
Like,
Just tuck it to the side, man. Just
you saw that,
tuck
right?
it
He wasn't
over.
joking.
Hey guys, we gotta wrap up here. The guy is...
Okay.
Okay.
So anyways,
I'm gonna go. I'll go out with you guys.
yeah, come on. Let's go.
Thank you, everybody.
You didn't say that, so...
YouTube.
Yeah, no. I was like, dude, I've
Click
always
the
wanted
link,
to do
sign
it.
up
I
for
wanted to go
the
back to
newsletter
history
so you get all these announcements.
History. Plus, by the way,
You can connect on social media. I'll be going live on Instagram and TikTok tonight so you can see more of this.
I got some. I don't know if that's gonna win. I
All
had
right.
Some people or some chicks.
Os,
wanting to go.
share this. It was great, right? Share it. Went 3 times.
I wanted one this time.
Ended it, did it again, ended it, did it again.
I don't know that.
Okay, share it. Os. Everybody. Os.
Okay,
Make sure you guys get your water.